Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. And today I don't have any PSAs for this at this time, so I usually do talk about gaming and stuff like that. So if by chance you guys are new to the channel, haven't yet got subscribed, go ahead and get subscribed for more content, and be sure to turn on your bell notifications. So therefore, you'll always stay up to date and you won't miss any news here on the channel. With that being said, I want to thank each and every single one of my followers or subscribers for being here on my channel as well. Huge shout out to each and every single one of you. And for those of you who have been viewing my videos throughout this whole entire time, also big shout out to you guys as well. So um, today is going to be something a little bit different, and I just don't want to keep doing the same thing over and over and over again repetitively. So as you guys noticed, that every time I do my live streams, it's always something a little bit different each and every single time. So, and I also do have places where you can actually find me. I have it all linked in the description below. You guys are more than welcome to check that out if you like. Um, just to let you guys know, if you can't get a hold of me on my Instagram page, you may want to possibly request me because that is a private account. But you can also find me on TikTok as well. So for those of you who don't know, now you do. And I just hope that everybody had a really good Christmas weekend so far. And if by chance, those of you who actually did not have a decent Christmas, I do convey my apologies on that behalf. So let's see who we have in the chats here. Who do we have all in here? You guys, if you would like to join the chats, my live chats are open for everyone who would like to participate. Sorry, I didn't get enough time to add more stuff to the description, so I will try to have Saturday's live stream a little bit more prepped and ready to go. So hopefully everything will be a lot smoother. I just kind of been dealing with some things here and there, so I'm all right. So I just messaged one of my moderators to let them know that I'm on my live stream tonight, guys. So I don't have my PC sitting here because I didn't have enough time to get stuff prepped. I was kind of in the middle of getting something finished up before I got started, and I did not realize that today just went by like really super fast. And by the way, guys, just to let you know, I do have my coffee right here. Very strong, very good. And also, again, big shout out to the person who actually made this. And I know for a fact you know who you are. But anyway, guys, there are going to be some new games going to be coming out here soon. Nobody knows exactly when these games are going to be dropped, but if by chance they do launch or do get launched and you do have issues with them, there is an option to where you can actually notify the developer or join the community hub and submit what just basically explain to them exactly what's going on with the game that you're actually playing. So what that's basically going to do is they're going to be able to create a patch note update. So once the game is updated, hopefully that actually does resolve the issue for any type of glitch during the time of the game. So, like I said, nobody knows exactly when these games are going to be launched or when they're going to be made accessible to the public. There are some other accounts, other YouTube accounts on here that do get early access. And just to let you guys know that there are some games that actually do have demos. So you guys can actually sit back and enjoy, sit back and play the demo. It does not cost you guys anything at all to play the demos. You guys can, if you're on Steam, what you'll want to do is you'll want to basically open up your Steam page or your Steam app, and you'll type in the name of the or you type in the name of the game that you would like to check out. And if it says free, play now, right either right beside it or right down somewhat below it, you will see a sign. You'll see a icon to where it allows you to download that demo. So again, guys, the demos don't cost you a dime. They don't cost you anything to play. They basically want to get that out there so that they can actually get people more involved. So before the game is actually launched, you'll know exactly what you're getting yourself into before you decide to buy the game or not. Just note for the records, if some people are saying that, oh, this game's going to drop on this date, this game's going to drop here, this is what's going to happen, blah, 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 blah. Pay no attention to the most of this stuff that's being said online, guys, because a lot of this is basically clickbait information. So nobody really knows. But the developers themselves, they would actually know more about that. So just kind of keep that in mind. Also, some games are probably pending stage one to stage two beta testing because some of the games may have like really big files in them. So I think what they're probably going to try to do is, this is just my thought on this. I could be wrong, but I think what they're doing is they're making the files like really big, but they're trying to size them down to where they're a lot less or a lot more space efficient, I guess you could say. I hope I'm pronouncing this correctly. So there are going to be some games that are going to have like really big files in them, like per se Grand Theft Auto 5. That's like 116 point something megabytes to download. Mm. Not megabytes, I'm sorry. 116.87 gigabytes. I don't know what I'm thinking, guys. 100, 117.6, something like that. It's pretty good sized file, but for the most part, if you do experience some type of issues with the game, like I said, there is a way that you can actually join the community hub, and you can also be able to submit what's going on with that. The devs, once they actually reach a certain amount of complaints on that behalf, okay, this is what's going on with this game here in this part of the map. Objects are falling through or something simple, you know. Every game when it comes out, there is going to be It's to be expected, guys. There's going to be some glitching and stuff going on. So, for the most part, just if you can, try to join the community hub. Check out most of the stuff that's going on there. A lot of these people will actually screenshot these and they'll upload those into like Steam and stuff like that. Now, I don't know if any other platforms would actually do the same. Sorry, I got a piece of hair in my face. But if you guys are actually playing the game and something like that does happen, you guys can also upload screenshots of that glitch specifically. And so when the dev actually sees the actual picture of it, they'll be able to try to come up with a patch note update to try to fix that as quickly as possible. But just note for the records, guys, some of these games could possibly take up to 5 to 10 years to make. And depending on the type of software that they're using, could probably, I would say probably the cheapest could be about 400 to 500, but it could run, well, I could be wrong. It could be like 250 all the way up to $800 just for that software, guys. So what they're trying to do is they're trying to get it to where everything is going to be running smooth on their end. But when it's sent directly to a platform, it may not run exactly as smooth as some people seem to think. So, like I said, do the best you can. Try to figure before you go into any type of game, guys. The simple suggestion that I have on that behalf is check out your key. If you're on PC, check out your controls and stuff like that. So it will tell you exactly what this does, what that does to move forward, backwards, left, or right. Some of those might be on a keyboard, others may possibly be on like your mouse and stuff. But uh, pretty soon, I don't know how soon specifically, I'm going to be doing some live streaming myself. So I'll probably do like 2 hour segments per se, but I'm not going to say a specific date when this is going to be set in stone. But I will make an announcement specifically. So if you guys would like to stick around and check that out, I can pretty much explain stuff better to you as I'm actually playing. So hopefully, by the time it's all said and done, guys, a lot of these games are going to be really, really interesting. And if you haven't checked out the game Body Cam, um, check out the price range first before. Well, it does actually come with variable different prices. Excuse me, guys. Some games actually do come with different price ranges, so you guys might want to check that out. The only thing I can suggest is only be able to get what you can afford. But if you have extra money to splurge on certain games, I'm not telling you to go out and buy the most expensive game. No, 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 that's not what I'm saying. But if you guys are able to, if you guys actually do have the finances and stuff to actually be able to afford to buy a game or so, check it out. Because usually when these games are released, they actually do have. Oh, damn, I can't even think of what I was going to say now. Hey, Christina. But when they do actually have something like that, check out your controls, check out your key bindings and stuff like that. Make sure that your mouse sensitivity is set accurately because sometimes your mouse sensitivity will be like super high. So you might want to try to bring that down to right around I'd say right around 50%, 50 to 75% roughly. But you might have to play around a little bit with the mouse sensitivity for it to for it to be right. So so that's pretty much about the only thing I can let you guys know. But there's no set date for when these games are going to be released. So just kind of keep that in mind, guys, and just keep your eyes peeled. A lot of these games you can actually find on Steam. You can find them on Game Pass, Epic Games, stuff like that. But it just depends on the game that you're actually wanting to play. Because when those games are sent out to different platforms and stuff like that, they'll upload those games to their servers and they'll push those out to all other dedicated servers. So if you guys are actually playing and you guys want to add more people in, you guys can do that too. So just make sure that the game actually has a multiplayer mode or a multiplayer setting. But if it does, fantastic. You guys can actually be able to play up to like I think it's like 8 to 16 people. It's like 8 people per server. But there are different outlets of servers that you guys can check out too. Per se, G Portal. And just as a simple legal disclaimer, guys, I'm not under any type of affiliation with these people. I'm not under any type of partnership, apprenticeship, or sponsorship at this time. So I just have to get that legal disclaimer out and let you guys know that. So I'm just kind of giving you an idea of different games and different server options. But there may be a few that you may have to play online, but other than that, it's all good. So the game I was actually playing before I got hooked up onto my live stream, I was playing 7 Days to Die, and that game has been out for over a decade, guys. 7 Days to Die is they have made some major improvements to the game. They have actually got their your POIs are basically a little bit more aggressive compared to when they were when the game first launched. Or not your POIs, your NPCs, excuse me. NPC basically stands for non-playable character. So if you guys are wanting to check that game out, you guys can find that on Steam. You can find that on probably Epic Games, or if you guys have an option for Xbox, if you're on PC, you guys can actually download that and be able to play that with a controller as well. You guys can actually switch your controller options over from a keyboard to handheld game controller. But just make sure that it's USB compatible, or you can also get the wireless version of it as well. So if you guys have any questions, comments, or concerns, please feel free to let me know over here in the chats. I do have my chats open for everyone who would like to participate. And so far, we already have one person here, and that's Christina. And just to let you guys know, Christina is, in fact, one of my moderators. Hang on a second. Oh, okay. Well, that's good that you're doing better. So, just kind of as a privacy matter, I'm not going to mention any of this on my live stream because of HIPAA and stuff like that. Human Intervention Privacy Policy Act. So yeah, that's I'm not going to mention that here on my live stream. So so I'm sorry if I sound a little sluggish tonight, guys. I've been up for a little over 24 hours, so I'm not as energetic as I was before most of my previous live streams. But I do have my coffee, so if I start looking like I'm about to, you know, nod off or something, I'll take a swig or so. So, but if you guys do have questions about any type of game that you would like to, if you guys have any suggestions about games or something, let me know in the chats. And if I see a game that's definitely worth playing, I would definitely give it a 5 star. So, um, like for example, Vane. That is not out yet, guys. I don't know when that's going to be released. Hey, Robert, how you doing, brother? So, I think probably I could be wrong, guys. So I really don't want to say exactly a specific date, but I'm thinking probably sometime between I don't know, probably between January and maybe March. But then again, the game could be released a lot sooner than expected, so I will definitely take a look at that at the end of the live stream, and I will keep you guys informed of what's going on with that as well. I will also check it. I'm going to also check out the community hub as well. So hopefully that pretty much gives me the information that I need to know. So I can actually get this. So I can basically get the information from what I'm catching over onto here, but hopefully it's not wrong. Hopefully it's not the wrong information. But like I said, guys, when people say that this game is going to be released, this is what it's going to basically what it's going to consist of. I wouldn't necessarily buy into most of that because, like I said, there's a lot of clickbait information going around. So don't always believe everything that you hear, guys, especially on social media. So if you like I said, if you guys do have questions, comments, or concerns about anything specifically, let me know in the chats, and I will try to answer your questions the best I can. And if you guys are asking me when these games are going to be released, honestly, I don't know. I'm not one of the devs, but like I said, some of that software can be pretty pricey. It can range all the way up to like $800 just for some software to be sent to you. That's to be able to make the games. Plus, you figure you got to work with all the textures and everything else with the landscapes, game mechanics for like vehicles and stuff like that, or basically whatever type of thing that you're using. Otherwise, it could be a gun or something like that, like a one-player shooter. a lot of that also has a lot of that actually has something to do with game mechanics. But I don't know if you watched my last live stream, sis, but I did put that information out there about the queso. So I'm not sure if you've seen that or not. I'll have to go back and look at that again. But as I was saying earlier, guys, if I sound a little sluggish, that's probably because I am. So, but yeah, I basically sent that out there. I let people know about that, about the queso, and I let them know that I was not the one that was posting this on my YouTube live stream. I said this was coming from one of my moderators, Don Jones. As a matter of fact, uh, I'm not going to take credit for something that I didn't even put on there. That's not what I'm about. Oh, hey, tell her I said hey. If you want to bring her into the chat, you're more than welcome to, sis. Oh, oh, okay. Well, hello, hello. But yeah, guys, I don't have my PC sitting next to me today, so I'm probably not going to be able to show you that. And by the way, speaking of PC, I did in fact open up a lot of memory space, so it's not no longer in red. I got it brought back down, so I'm probably gonna have to do some work to it and try to get everything back up in working order. So hopefully, I could probably do that on my next live stream. I don't know when that's going to be. I don't want to say it could be Saturday, it could be Tuesday, it could probably be 2 weeks from now. Just because I haven't really had a chance to get much of anything done with that. So I did manage to open up some space on my hard drive. So I'm not sure if you guys actually have your own computers and stuff like that, but if you go back and watch my previous video, it will basically go through and show you exactly how I did it. So this is nothing new to me. It's not my first song and dance. So if you guys would like to know exactly what I do off, if you guys would like to know what I do off camera, I am a personal chef for a Vietnam era vet, and yeah, and plus I spend a lot of my time on the computer. So just to let you guys know, I'll move my camera around so you guys can actually see exactly one of the pizzas I actually made one day, and if that looks really good, that's because it was very good. Check that out, guys. Yeah, I'm an entrepreneur, personal chef, and plus I have also went to school for computers as well. So if you guys would like to know more about that, you guys can go back and check out most of my previous videos that I made here on the channel, and you guys will be amazed at what I can do. But I'm gonna look up this other picture so you guys can actually see what all I do with computers, what I went to school for. So just bear with me for just a moment, guys. So another thing that I don't really do much of, and I don't bring up politics on the live stream because that right there, that just doesn't seem to resonate with me too well, especially on my live stream because pretty much the whole if people are actually going through here, then YouTube's like a worldwide thing. I just don't want to bring too much of that onto my channel, guys. So that's why I don't do that. I have got so many photos up in here. Matter of fact, I found the actual picture, guys. So I'm going to go ahead and show this to you. Yes, I did go to school for computers. So I don't know if you guys can see that or not, but I know, right? So yeah, that's pretty much all I do, guys. So, actually thinking about doing some short clips for my YouTube channel as well, but I got to figure out how to get my thumbnails and stuff set up. So, this may be a little bit more time consuming than what I'm used to. Well, just starting out because I never really put thumbnails in my YouTube live streams. So if I do like short clips or so, I'm gonna have to find out exactly what the maximum time limit is on that. So hopefully I can show you guys some stuff after I get done in the kitchen. I could probably just video it, and I'll just have to figure out how to upload it to my. I have to figure out how to upload that to my YouTube channel. I've done something like that once before, but this was back in like 2014. So I hadn't done it since. So if you guys have any ideas about that, let me know in the chats. And guys, just to let you know that pizza that I showed you, I actually used pimento cheese. In case you guys don't know what pimentos are, that's basically what comes out of the green olives. It's actually mixed into like it's mixed into a special type of cheese, but it's really, really good. Now, if I was going to do something like that specifically and wanted to add more flavor to it, I could probably add some Rotel with it. Oh yeah, I'm sure that would be really good too. So if you guys would like to know exactly, like I said, if you guys want to know where else you guys can find me at, you can find me on my Instagram, stuff like that. I have it all linked in the description below. Feel free to take a look at that. And in case you guys don't know what my Instagram page is, I do have my account set for private because there's some other people I know that's got an Instagram page, so that's pretty much why I just selected my account to be private on that behalf. So I'm going to show you guys exactly what my Instagram username is on here. So that's my Instagram page at the very top. I don't know who those people are down below. So yeah, I do a lot of cooking and stuff on. I do a lot of cooking, and what I do is I upload a lot of my pictures to my Instagram page. So in case you guys don't really know, yeah, that's what I do. And now when it comes to sauces, I make my own sauces as well. Just give me a moment and I'll show you one of the other things that I do. That sauce that's actually coated over the top of that, I made that sauce myself. Those are turkey drums. Those aren't chicken legs. So yeah, that was really good. Oh, and there's something else I would definitely want to share with you guys as well. Now, if you guys have for those of you who actually use iOS or like iPhones, or if you guys have an iPhone, little simple suggestion for you guys is I don't recommend um, I don't recommend doing a software update to 18.2 because there's some things that's going on with that operating system that Apple has not got everything set up. they, they actually had, okay, when iOS 18.2 came out, it was not fully developed. So if you guys are on 18.2, your best bet is to call the person instead of actually texting them, because what they're doing is that's actually giving hackers information on your device as well. So they can actually pull up your text messages, they can pull up all your photos and stuff like that without you even knowing about it, guys. So honestly, that's where I'm stuck, right on 17.6.1, I do believe. No, 17.6.1. Right where it says iOS version. So if you guys don't know how to get directly to that part there, I'm going to show you how to do that. So first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to click on your settings button here. You're going to scroll down till you see general. Click that. And you're going to come up here to the very top and click on about. And this right here will actually give you the information that you'll need to know for your iPhone, stuff like that. So I do believe there is a way to uninstall the update, but in order to do that, you're probably going to either have to go through your SHH files or your iFiles. But just note for the records, guys, if you do happen to go through your SHH files or your iFiles, it's a good possibility that you may compromise your security. I'm not saying that you will, but I'm saying that it's likely possible. So just keep that in mind. So if you do uninstall that, you're probably going to have to jailbreak your phone to do that. And what I mean by jailbreaking is basically going back and going into your main settings and going all the way back and deleting the previous updates. So I don't know, guys. It's some things just don't seem to resonate with me too well. But anyway, like I said, if you guys have any questions, comments, or concerns, let me know in the chats, and I will try to get back with your comment here in just a few. And the last previous comment on that behalf, you're absolutely right, sis. That was really, really, really good. So tonight, I'm probably going to end up making a pizza, but I'm basically going to be using raw dough, so I'm going to have to use flour to kind of keep the dough from sticking. So I'm probably going to have to wipe off the surface or something and possibly go from there. And like I said, guys, it's not all about me. It's about you guys, viewers, and for my moderators and all my other viewers out there. Huge shout out to each and every single one of you. And also, Becca, this shout out's for you as well. Huge shout out to you as well for subscribing to my channel. Therefore, that actually does go to show, that does actually go to help support the channel. And I do appreciate all the love and support that you guys have actually shown so far. You guys are phenomenal. Keep up the good work. And for those of you who are not yet subscribed to the channel, go ahead and get subscribed for more content. Be sure to turn on your bell notifications so therefore you won't miss any news here on the channel. And as a as a bonus, you guys will also be notified each and every single time I get ready to go live. I do my live streams Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays from 8 o'clock p.m. to 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Oh, I got that right. You're absolutely welcome. And yes, by the way, guys, I do have my coffee. Extra leaded. Extra leaded, not premium. Absolutely. I do have my coffee. So hopefully, if you guys haven't checked out my last video that I made, we are now past the 100 mark. I think we're on 104 videos now. Pretty sure it's 104. Let me double check that just to make sure. Thank you so much for that. I definitely do appreciate that. Yes, this live stream right here, guys, this is exactly going to be the 104th video or live stream that I have done. So it only counts the ones that aren't updated. So at the end of this live stream, my YouTube account will automatically update itself. So this one right here will be pending until after I decided, after I end up after I press the end stream. So yeah, this is exactly the 104th video, guys. And in case you guys don't know, I've actually had this YouTube account since 2014. But I just had no way of going live. And then I did some research, and to be able to go live, you actually have to have a computer to be able to do that, and a webcam. So, and I just started live streaming as of last year, about a year and a half, somewhere in there. Oh, and I definitely do appreciate that, Christina. And for those of you guys who actually like the live stream, don't forget to hit that thumbs up, smash that heart button, and for those of you who have not yet got subscribed, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Be sure to turn on all your bell notifications so therefore you will not miss any news here on the channel, guys. And sis, at the end of the live stream, I'm going to go ahead and call you because I have some things I definitely need to discuss with you. I just recently found something out. I'm not going to say what it is on the live stream, but yeah, I think you're going to like this. As a matter of fact, when I got wind of that myself, I actually had to play the video back at least. I had to play it back twice just to make sure what I was hearing was accurate. Matter of fact, I'm actually getting chills going down my spine right now. This is a rarity, guys. This is definitely a rarity. So the next time I happen to live stream, guys, I'm gonna have my other PC sitting here next to me. So you guys will actually be able. Ooh, excuse me. You guys will actually be not bad, man. It's just damn good coffee. That's my story. I'm sticking to it. But anyway, guys, this coming Saturday, I will have my other computer sitting next to me, so I will basically show you guys quite a few tips on it, quite a few things on here. It's basically going to be little tips and tricks and stuff. Just basically how to remove apps from your PC without it going directly into your recycling bin. I have actually done this several times before, but I think the next time I do this, I think this will be the final time I probably do that. But I mean, everything that I do on my computer is 100% legit. I don't do nothing illegal on my PC. But also, if you guys have no idea what kind of a computer I'm actually using or what type of tower I have, hang on a second. Oh, let me open this glass up so you guys can actually see this. Let me take this glass off of here. I gotta clean that up like really good. Hang on a second. I got just lost my chats here. This is the Omen by HP. I do have the Ryzen 7 in here. I'm actually going to up that to the Ryzen 9. I am also going to be doing a PC rebuild, and I'm probably going to end up having to redo my whole entire codec system on the inside as well. So I'm actually going to bump this up to possibly a 2 terabyte hard drive. And I'm also probably I'm actually thinking about running a 6090 graphics card. And just to let you guys know, the tower that I have is also liquid cooled. So my PC will not overheat. And as you guys can also see on the very top, it also has the cryo chamber. So that's basically basically what's behind that frame up there at the top is it actually has its own built-in radiator. I almost said radio. It has its own built-in radiator. So where that part where it said Omen, where it's got that little box thing, it shows me. Hang on a second, guys. This right here, where I'm actually putting my finger on, that is the liquid cooling pump. That is my exhaust fan. And over here, this is the these are the three intakes. So it's pulling air in, it's blowing air out through this back piece here, and it's also blowing out most of the heat through the top. So this computer actually, so that tower actually does have 7 fans. And not to mention the graphics card only has 2, but I'm actually thinking about upping my graphics card to where it actually has 3 fans. Now the ones it's got the lights in the front, those are the RGB lights, RGB lighting. And as you guys can definitely tell, I am a very hardcore gamer. My other mouse that was on here, I'm gonna have to get a replacement because it just one day it just up and stopped working. So I'm basically gonna have to get me another mouse to go with this. So now my keyboard, I'll show you something about my keyboard. Check this out, guys. This right here, you would only think only has one setting. It does not. Check this out. Hang on a sec. I can change my color mode. To where it changes different colors along with this long strip up here at the very top. Check that out. It'll also, it's basically got its own dimmer and everything else to it. I could shut that off. I could turn that on. Hang on a second, guys. So I can basically shut this off on a low, I turn it on to a low mode, and I can press it again to kick it up to a higher mode. So I also had the mouse that actually had RGB lighting in it too. So everything at my tower does, those exact lighting patterns also goes directly into my mouse as well. But this one that I have right now, it does not have that. So this is kind of a replacement for the time being until I can actually get a replacement. So I can do a full system teardown and just basically rebuild everything all the way back up to where it needs to be. I'm actually thinking about upgrading my CPU. I'm actually thinking about upgrading my GPU, my disk drive, which is basically my hard drive. I'm actually going to run it internal to an external. And see if I can actually run that to my USB. So then the hard drive that's in it now will be my external hard drive. So if I do that, I can actually probably upgrade. I could pretty much up the I can upgrade all my hard drive space in my PC by using a replacement upgraded internal to also using the external output hard drive. Now the number one thing about these type of computers is the fact that it actually has a 16 pin power input. It's got a 16 pin power connect, and that 16 pin power connect connects right into the motherboard. So I don't know if you guys are familiar with that or not, but probably not. But for those of you who are familiar with it, I'm actually thinking, once I do that, I'm probably going to upgrade my codec card, or my codecs card to a level 4. So then I can actually improve my streaming quality. And also, you can actually run Wi-Fi into your computer without even hooking it up to anything else. So now if my camera seems to be a little bit higher, that's a faster speed. That's 5G plus. So hopefully when everything is all said and done and I get my PC rebuilt, I'm going to try to have my computer running at a very fast speed as well. I'm probably going to replace all my RGB lighting and stuff like that. It's still going to be the same, but it's just basically going to be a little bit more powerful to where it actually keeps it cool. But my fan speeds, I've got I got 4 different fan speeds. Now, if I kick this up onto the highest fan speed, this thing would almost sound like a Boeing 747 getting ready to take off from the runway. So yeah, it's pretty loud. But if I run it manually, it will probably reduce after a certain period of time. So therefore, that'll keep the CPU and the GPU and stuff like that, all the main internal components, cool. So I may possibly have to reprogram my computer after I have everything replaced, which is not that hard to do. Oh, speaking of computers, did you get your computer back up and running, sis? So basically the steps that I walked you through, that actually did get your computer back up and running back to the day that you first bought it. Fantastic. That's awesome. I have yet got to get my laptop hooked up to my internet, my new router. So once I do that, I'll actually be able to download and install my Windows 11 from that. I haven't really got a chance to do that yet, but because the reason being is because I actually have that still connected to my other box, my other Wi-Fi. If you guys ever get a jetpack from Verizon, these things are complete and utter garbage. Because if you go to download a game using one of those, it could take you anywhere from 3 to 9 hours to download a game. Now with this one here, this system will probably only take about 1 minute and 30 seconds. Instead of running it, instead of using the jetpack, which I don't think it's really designed to do all that. I don't think it's my personal opinion. I don't really seem to think that it's meant for that type of gaming type thing. But the only downfall is when you go to plug this thing in, it takes 5 minutes for it to set and for your internet to kick on. So when everything is all said and done, after that 5 minutes, you'll start to see that the signal at the bottom will all light up in red. Then it will go from red back to white, and once it's all lit up in white, then it's all good to go. Then you just go into your little network icon, and then you just basically search for the device that it's using. Then once you do that, then you got to enter your password. And what that'll do after the fact that you entered the password, it may take a few minutes for it to pop up something. And if it gives you the option to skip through certain things, just skip through pretty much everything. Set certain things up later. Other than that, you're good to go. Instead of running this at probably 50 to 60 megabits per second, I'm actually running with my new system. I'm running at probably about 250 megabits per second. Or probably even 320 megabits per second. That's pretty fast. So if I actually had to put these both like right there on the starting line from the time it starts up, this would fail tremendously. This more than likely that's going to lose the race regardless. Because from 50 megabits per second to about 250 to 320 megabits, that's, like I said, that's pretty impressive. So there you have it, guys. But if you're thinking about getting a jetpack, I would not recommend that because you're just basically throwing away money there. So that's pretty much all I have right here at this point in time. And by the way, guys, one of my other jobs that I had, I used to work at a power sports company. That bike right there, I put that front tire on, I put the handlebars on, I put this on the back here, and I connected the shocks to the back. I took that right out of the crate, put it together myself. I basically did my first service on it, had it serviced and up and ready to go, jumped on it. If you guys happen to get a bike like that, after the first 600 miles, you just gotta when you get something like that and you're on it, don't just get on, just whatever you do, don't just open it up all the way and expect it to. If you get something new like that, guys, you always want to make sure that you break it in nice. Make sure that you break that thing in really nice, because once you break it in, you won't have to change your oil until like 600 miles. The first oil change is 600 miles. Then after that, it's 1,000 miles after that. So basically what that's doing is when you go to change your oil out, if you have like metal shavings in your oil, that just goes to tell you how that's being broke in. Because the tachometer at the very top, or not that, but your tachometer. So as soon as you're rolling, your tachometer will start to turn. So when I got this bike brand new, I only had like 5 miles on not the tachometer, the odometer. It only had it had straight zeros all the way through, but the last number was 5. I broke that in really good myself. I did my first oil change on it. That wasn't really hard to do. But if you guys do get a bike like that, it's always best to change the oil when when you do change the oil, guys, change it out while the oil is still hot. So therefore, everything just spews right out through the bottom of it. Make sure that you have an oil pan up underneath it, of course. But yeah. I've basically put together dirt bikes, ATVs, you name it. When I was working at this one other place, I'm not going to mention the name of it, but when I was working there, I was basically putting out at least 75 different recreational vehicles per week. I didn't have to be at work until 10 o'clock that morning. I was there by 7. So I was at work like 3 hours early. Every day. Didn't miss a day of work. So that's kind of a little bit of a it's kind of like a little bit of a history for you guys. So therefore, if you guys happen to know something, if you guys don't know anything about that specifically, I can pretty much tell you exactly how much oil to put into it. You don't have to mix the gas and oil together, because your gas sits at the bottom, your tank is up at the top, so it's basically gravity fed into the engine. So when you do get on a bike like that, just slowly roll back on the throttle. Therefore when you start to somewhat start rolling, then you can just give it a little bit more gas. I mean, don't just get on it and just do that, because I've actually seen somebody do that. And Oh my God. They got on this thing and they opened it up. They hit, and they didn't even have time to turn. This person's very first time riding one of those. She went up onto the curb and this bike went airborne and she fell off the bike as the bike flew over into the bushes. And believe it or not, those bikes there do not have chains. They have belts. Those are belt driven. Pretty much almost identical to the same belts that you put on your car. Whatever you guys do, don't underestimate those because they will stand up on they'll stand straight up like this, and if you fall back, a bike could very well possibly land right on top of you. So just because it's belt driven, worst thing to do is take that for granted, because if one of those actually do fall on you, it could hurt you. It could probably hurt you really bad. The bike I've got is about 300 pounds. But you got some that are about half of that. But yeah, those bikes, they actually do, they do have some weight to them. Make no mistake of that. But that bike there, that's a 150cc air cooled 4-stroke. And let me tell you guys something about engines. Okay, now when it comes to small engines, keep this in mind. If it smokes, it's a 2-stroke. If it don't smoke, it's a 4-stroke. You guys following me here? So basically what I'm saying, I know it does seem kind of funny, but that's the actual truth though. If it smokes, it's a 2-stroke. If it don't smoke, it's a 4-stroke. So if you see a little bit of smoke coming out of the tailpipe, it's designed to do that. But okay, now here's the question I have for you guys. Now what's okay, now between engine size, between a 50cc and a 150cc, both air cooled. Oh my God. Okay, between a 50cc air cooled 2-stroke compared to a 150cc air cooled 4-stroke, which one is faster? Is it the 50cc or is it the 150? Leave your comment over there in the chats, guys, and I'll tell you if you're right or wrong. If you race a 50cc compared to a 150, what bike is going to win? And why is that? What does the 50cc have that the 150cc does not have? Less weight. Okay, I can see the logics in that. Okay, let me explain it to you this way, guys. The 50cc has a power band inside of it. Once that power band kicks in, it's gone. Those are the older ones. The newer ones don't have the power band in them. But the weight distribution, that's part of it. But the power band is something you're actually missing. Depends on how that engine is tuned. If it's tuned just right, yeah. Okay, now let me ask you this. On those type of bikes there, on the 50cc and the 150, how does the battery stay charged? Okay, if you look down below, you see something that looks like an alternator. That's not the alternator. That is actually called the stator. The stator is equivalent to a car's alternator. The alternator kicks the juice back into the battery. Now, the stator does the exact same thing, but the stator compared to the alternator are two different categories. Because for one, the alternator on a car actually has a belt. It's belt driven, and it's got brush guards inside of it. Now the stator is something that pretty much runs by itself, and it just kicks juice from the stator back to your battery, because what that does is that basically runs on your what's the word I'm looking for here? That basically runs off the compression of your engine. So, okay, say for instance, you got your oh shit, it's been a minute, guys. You got your magneto at the top on your stator. Your magneto, once it comes around, it just basically arcs that spark from the firing. It goes from the magneto to the firing pin. So every rotation between here and here, it's almost kind of like a spark plug. It sends power. It sends a jolt straight up, but it happens so fast that it maintains its actual velocity of the electricity for the current flow of the electricity. So basically what the magneto is doing is that's actually sending that juice from your stator back into your battery, and what's connected to your battery, what goes out goes into all your lights, your turn signals, your headlights, your brake lights, no matter if they're LED, because nowadays your brake lights are LED. But the only thing that are still halogen are your daytime running lamps that are in the front. Your turn signals, those are LED. Your headlights are halogen. So you got a bright and dim mode. And that's basically what I'm here to teach you guys. So if you buy a bike that's brand new, you just got to baby that accelerator. Because when you baby it, what you're doing is you're actually allowing that engine more time to break in naturally. But if you have somebody that's breaking an engine in naturally, and you have somebody that's out there just hot rodding it, just evil Knieveling shit, just left and right. Oh, hey, look, this guy's just, oh, wow. No, no. That guy's going to do more damage to the bike. It's not going to be properly broke in because when that engine is turning, when that engine gets hot, it's actually sealing up your whole entire engine. So it's keeping debris and stuff like that from entering. So the guy who's actually taking his time on the bike is actually breaking it in. So therefore, once he breaks it in, he's not going to have any further problems with it. So I mean, there's really nothing. It's really nothing to keep the thing tuned up. It's not really all that hard if you think about it. No, that bike over there, the one I just showed you, I can reset the time. If my timing slips on that, I can reset my timing. I can reset the whole entire timing chain. It's not that hard to do. Okay, I'm going to show you guys something specifically. Okay, now this is just kind of more of a captivity thing. Okay, now say this is, say that, okay, we're going to use these as markings, and then we're going to go from here out to here. So every 90 degrees here, so starting from 0 to 45, from 45, actually no, 180, excuse me. So from here, 90, from here, 90, that's 180. So your your smaller circle here at the top is going to match up with the smaller circle at the bottom, but your bigger circle is going to be on the outside. So that's how you would set your timing. So you basically want it center point. And if that's not set at center point or top center, the bike's not going to run all that great. So basically what I'm saying is that bike's going to spend more time in the shop getting everything properly realigned for it to be able to function normally. So, but that bike there, when I took that out of the crate, I had to use a grinder because one of the bolts stuck on it and it was hitting a burr and I couldn't get that burr out of there. So I had to use a grinder to grind two parts off of it, pull it, watch that centerpiece just to the ground, basically took it apart. And I just kind of picked up one end of the bike, pushed it forward, set it down. And then I had to pick up the front end by the two forks, by the triple tree. And I had to set that on a 5-gallon bucket. I thought it was going to fall over. Actually, it wasn't a 5-gallon bucket. It was a jack. It was a one-time. I think it was like a one-ton floor jack. So yeah, that allowed me a chance to get the brakes and stuff all hooked up, squeeze them, test them, bleed the brake lines of any air or anything like that. There was no air coming out of the brake lines because I had the bleeder valve open. There was just a little bit here, a little bit there, brake fluid. Then I just recapped that. So what I did after that, I just recapped the bleeder valve. I sealed it up. And then I just put oil in it, put gas in it. But those bikes there, if you're traveling at like 50 mile or about 45 mile an hour and you got to stop, as soon as you let off that accelerator and it just springs back to the front and stops, your bike will actually slow down. It'll start to bog down speed wise. It's not going to maintain a steady speed of 50, 45 mile an hour, but it's going to bog down because those bikes there actually have CVT based transmissions. And that also is in comparisons with your drivetrain. So that's basically what I'm trying. Basically, in a way, I'm basically kind of giving you guys an education on certain things of how some bikes run, not all, some. Now, if you go to like a bigger bike, like to like a Harley Davidson or something like that, or if you go like to an Indian, you're going to notice a big change in performance. Or even the Valkyrie that was built by Honda. 140 carb, 1500cc V2 twin turbo engine. But now, you got to know exactly what you're doing when you go to work on those type of bikes, because there's three main parts, three key factors to an engine: spark, compression, and fuel. If it's getting a spark and it's getting compression, then you check to see if it's actually getting fuel to it. And how you do that is there's like a little gap. You take your spark plug out, put your finger over that hole, and if you get like a little jolt, you're getting spark. But then you're also getting the compression that's behind it. So if you push down your Kickstarter and it just kind of seems like it's real hard to push in or push down, and then all of a sudden it kicks over, that's compression. Now, if it acts like it wants to fire up, then it's actually getting the fuel that it needs. But now to keep the engine cool, you got to keep the bike moving. Like the bikes that I have, you got to keep them moving. You can't let it just sit and idle over an existential period of time, because those bikes will in fact overheat because they're air cooled, and when you're moving, that's pushing air through it to keep the block cool. So what do you guys actually think about tonight's live stream? leave your comment over in the chats. I'd love to hear what you got to say. I really would love to hear what you guys have to say about that. So I didn't realize today was going to be a education on bikes, though. But it is what it is. Fantastic. But yeah, that's basically what I'm here to do. Is I'm here to educate you and let you know exactly how everything works. But also another thing that I kind of left out is that plate that covers your stator. Now your stator, once you pull up on it, your compression point would be top dead. It would be top center. So again, I'm going to use the cap. I'm going to use this cap as an example. As long as you have, as long as you have two holes here and a hole up here in the front, facing your front tire, if it's straight up and straight down, and you can see both holes from the top to the bottom, partially, to where it's kind of like this. Your timing is set correctly. Now, if it's set, now say these are the two holes and it's set like this, and your thing is facing downwards at a 45, that's incorrect, because when that hole that's facing the front of your tire, it's facing out towards the front tire, sits out and it comes down to the very bottom, that's when that compression kicks over. So you just got to make sure that you have your timing set correctly. because your because your timing actually has a lot to do with your magneto and the full stroke of your piston. So all that is interconnected. So when the piston goes up and then it comes back down, it goes back up and it fires. What that does is that's allowing a little bit of fuel to go in between the pistons, to where when it's actually compressed strong, to where it's compressed hard enough, your spark plug will ignite the fuel, will ignite that the fuel vapors inside of that. So when it comes down, all that exhaust gets forced out through your engine and goes out through your exhaust manifold and travels out through your pipes. And that is something you don't want to breathe. You don't want to breathe that in, because actually that does contain carbon monoxide. That's actually C2O. And carbon monoxide is odorless. It's almost about equivalent to radon. Radon is also odorless, but if too much is breathed in, you can actually pass out from those vapors and your body will start shutting down. That's not necessarily a good thing. I've had carbon monoxide poisoning before. I actually treated that myself. But as a safety precaution, I ended up going out to the hospital one night because of that. And the doctor asked me, he says, what are you doing to treat that? I says, well, a lot of things. I basically went outside, stood out there for a while, and I drank lots of water. He says, you're doing the right thing. He says, you're doing really good. You're actually treating that yourself. Very good. So if you guys ever do get caught up in a situation to where you feel like you may have carbon monoxide poisoning, drink as much water as you possibly can and let that be able to flush itself out. Let your body flush that shit out. But if you're going to work on an engine, make sure that you have a well ventilated area, so where you're not actually breathing all those toxic fumes in. Because that's something you really don't want to do. You don't want to breathe that stuff in. So just a little bit of friendly advice for you guys. So, but anyway, guys, it is actually past time. It is 9:42 p.m. my time. um, anyway, I want to thank you guys for coming to hang out here on the channel. And like I said, if you guys are new to the channel, haven't yet subscribed, go ahead and get subscribed. Be sure to turn on all your bell notifications so therefore you won't miss news here on the channel. And you'll also be notified each and every single time during the time I get ready to live stream. My live streaming days are Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays from 8 o'clock p.m. to 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Sometimes I stay on later than 9:30, but it is what it is. But anyway, I definitely want to thank you guys for coming to hang out with me tonight. And as always, be safe, stay sharp, stay frosty, stay vigilant. Until next time, thanks for watching. See you guys on the next one. And most of all, stay frosty. I'll see you guys on the next one. Saturday night, same time, same place. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you guys on the next one.